Welcome back to On Air with Kash. I'm your host, Kash Hovey. My guest today is actor Jonah Lees. He stars as Morty Knuckles Rifkin in Blue Moon, which is nominated for 2 Academy Awards this year. He's also joined the DC Universe in Superman, working with director James Gunn, and he portrays John Lennon in the Beatles-era film Midas Man. Jonah, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kash. Thank you for having me.
I've been following your work. I just can't believe what a role you've been on with your career. I mean, Superman, Midas Man, Blue Moon. So, by the way, it's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards.
We shot that movie in Ireland. A lot of people don't know this, but I played a good amount of the piano live. So that was, sometimes that's me you hear, and other times it's our amazing composer Graham Reynolds. But that was another thing that the piano was there, the bar was there, everything was there. So stepping on set was just kind of like, okay, here we go. We're in 1940s New York. And then, the whole awards experience has been pretty surreal and amazing. I mean, I got a chance to watch the movie and I knew it was fantastic. So I had a feeling, especially with Ethan, that he should have been nominated because I thought this performance is incredible. So when he finally did, it was an amazing feeling. And also Robert Kaplow, our writer, is the second nomination for Best Original Screenplay. It's very exciting.
What was like your motivation for getting into music?
Great question. Yeah, my parents met in a band, actually. And so I had music all around. I grew up with a baby grand in the house, playing that before I could probably talk. And guitars and drums and bass and musical software and equipment all around. So, we were singing, like I said, very, very early on. I think right after our first words, I want to say I've got an identical twin brother. So I shared a lot of those moments with him. We were singing like jingles and theme songs right after we kind of said our first word. So music's just in the blood. In Kentucky at one point, and then I was in Atlanta filming Superman, and I had to kind of source a keyboard to put in my hotel room. It was all quite last minute, but I ended up making it work, which I'm glad I did. Believe it or not, my father is also an identical twin. And he and his brother, when they were younger, were prodigies, like musicians. He was a drummer and his twin brother was a keyboard player.
I've been growing up with my dad. We're Armenian on my dad's side. There's like a second cousin relationship to Robert Kardashian Sr. So in the 70s, Robert Kardashian Sr. is dating my mom's sister, who's Priscilla Presley. My parents meet. My dad came on as the director of music publishing, so he did all the licensing. Like, he read True Romance before people knew who Tarantino was, licensed songs.
Oh.
So growing up with my dad, Beatles music was like the soundtrack of my childhood. And so and John Lennon, I actually did we all had to like dress up like an iconic figure and do a report at school. So my mom was staying with Priscilla and Elvis, and then she wanted to meet the Beatles, but she had to go back to school. So it was one of those things like right after my mom left, it was like, that's when Elvis met the Beatles. But my aunt and Elvis were like, could you sign an autograph?
So that scene was also almost in our movie.
When they signed the autograph, what's her name? Michelle. 6 months later, Michelle.
Oh, look at that.
And then Elvis would tease my mom, they actually wrote that because they heard your name. And then years later, like 20 years later, I think it was in the 80s, my aunt and my mom are backstage at a concert, and Paul was there, and he says hi, and she goes, he knew.
Wow, that's
anyway,
incredible.
That also stepped into the DC universe in Superman with James Gunn.
Yes, yeah, what a cool thing to say.
How's award season treating you? Anything?
Award season's very exciting for me, particularly because my partner, Nicole Nelson, is also in an Oscar-nominated project. She's starring in Jane Austen's period drama, which is nominated for Best Live Action Short. This is our first time. We've been together for 6 years now. Our first time either of us have been involved in an Oscar-nominated project and going to the Oscars, and the fact that it's together is so surreal. I mean, talk about serendipitous. You couldn't plan that. So it's a very exciting time. Kash, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
2 Academy Award nominations for Blue Moon. Watch it on Netflix now, and we're all cheering for you, brother. Thank you so much again, Jonah. You rock.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.